So I'd like to get into kind of masculinity and, well, one really quick question before I go into masculinity and emotion, because I think that's a really cool topic. But does masculinity have more to do with the activity itself, or is it the manner in which the activity is performed?
I would say more of the manner. So I've had a lot of people ask me, for example, this was just a couple of weeks ago. A guy messaged me and he's like, "Hey Ryan, if I remember right, I think he either wanted to paint or do photography, but he wanted to be
Hmm.
an artist of some sort." And he's
Hmm.
like, "I really want to do this. I'm just worried it's not masculine." What? Like, what are you
Mm.
talking about? But you're saying painting is not masculine? Like painting is not it's not genetic. It doesn't have chromosomes. It doesn't have a little pair of, balls on it or not. Like
Mm.
it's not it's not masculine or feminine. It's just painting. Like that's all
Hmm.
it is. But we get into these things where it's like, well, I'm just going to be viewed as less masculine. Some of the best painters in the world are men, and they're still masculine. Some of the best cooks in the world are men. I would consider very masculine, very
Mm.
manly. So when I define manliness, I define it as the ability to protect, provide, and preside over yourself, your loved ones, the people you care about, and those that can't do it for themselves. That's how I
Hmm.
define manliness. I didn't say that you had to be a professional kickboxer
Hmm.
or somebody who's climbed the seven highest peaks on each of the seven continents. No, I
Hmm.
said protect, provide, preside.
Mm.
If you're a painter or a photographer or an artist or a musician or a professional or a chef, like you're not less manly because you're doing those things. It doesn't make you
Hmm.
less manly at all. If you're protecting, providing, and presiding, then 100%, I consider you a
Hmm.
man. You're doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, and I asked that because I think, I think a lot of people get the perception that being a man is about, I'm gonna go hunting, I'm gonna go camping, I'm gonna train with firearms, I'm going to lift weights, I'm going to, all these things that are, and they don't consider, or it doesn't seem like the consideration is so much in how. It's just I'm going to do these things because I think that makes me manly. And that's kind of what
Yeah, and I
I'm
like all the things that you mentioned, I like personally,
yeah. Mhm.
but I also picked up the guitar and like doing that. I also like having conversations like we're doing right now. I like to watch movies with my wife. I like to
Mhm.
color with my kids. Like there's so much, yoga is actually a great example of that. Like generally
Mhm.
people would say that's not manly, right? I assume.
Yeah, no, I get that. We still get
Okay,
that.
right. So tell me what's not manly about it? You're making yourself stronger, you're exercising discipline,
Mhm.
you're stretching out your muscles, so now you're more capable, you're going to be more athletic, you're going to live longer, you're going to be healthier, you're going to live a more fulfilled life. Like what
Mhm.
about that is unmasculine?
Right. Yeah. There's yeah. I mean, I have no answer for you because there is none.
Because you agree, right? Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
we get caught up into like, well, you have to do this. And like I think everybody should go hunting. Like I do think that. I don't think you have to be a hunter, but I think at some point you should probably go hunting and try it.
mm,
I think you should probably know how to use a firearm.
mhm,
Like I don't expect that you have an arsenal in your basement, but like
mhm.
you should know how to use a firearm. That seems like a basic skill.
Yeah.
It's like swimming to me. It's like, I don't particularly enjoy the water. Like it's not my favorite thing, but like I know how to swim.
Mhm.
Because if I'm ever in the water, I wanna know that I'm not gonna drown.
Right.
So I learned to swim when I was a kid, right?
Mhm.
It's the same concept.
Yeah, and just to touch on the, hunting firearms, I grew up in the suburb, and we weren't anywhere close to anywhere where you would be able to just go out and hunt. And I think my both my mom and my dad were taking camping as they were kids, and they just didn't like it, so they didn't do it with me. So a lot of these activities, and if I'm being honest, I kind of get self-conscious because I don't like, I don't go hiking or I don't go camping, I really rarely do. I think I've done it probably 3 times, and I've had a good time while I do it. And I don't have a firearm. I think I've done some riflery at summer camps when I was like a
Mhm.
teenager, but I don't
Yeah.
have I don't have a firearm. I think and I haven't practiced it. I haven't learned it. So there are some things that I guess, yeah, I guess I kind of bring that up just because I'm like self-conscious about my manliness because I don't do these things. And
I don't know if I don't know if I mean, it's easy for me to say, I don't think you need to be self-conscious, but if you're thinking to yourself, maybe I should, then I think you should try it.
Mm.
It's the same way let's take a guy who's, always been to martial arts and hunting and camping and firearms and all this other stuff. If that guy has a desire to, paint a picture, then I think you probably should do that. Or if you want to buy a camera and learn how to do landscape photography, and that's a concern, that's a deficiency. You're like, I don't know how to do that. Then you should do that. And then you should just see. And if you like it, you can double down. And if you don't like it, you're like, cool, tried that. Wasn't my thing, but I tried it and I'm more capable now. I don't think you have to be self-conscious about it, but I think being aware of it and saying, okay, well, I never have done that. Maybe I should go to a firing range and do that. I think might shore some of that up.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. Click over here if you want to watch another clip from the podcast. If you haven't subscribed, click over here to subscribe and check out full episodes on any major podcasting platform, full video episodes on the Better Man Podcast YouTube channel.